Eulogy, I guess you could say the story sort of hinges around this. What are the long-term effects when on a person if they try to fix their family with religion? Um, in this book, William Oakes is a 30-year-old man who's looking back on his life or stuff that's happened in his life, and how as a 10, 11 years old kid, he saw how his parents' marriage was failing and his household was crumbling, and he became born again and then tried to fix his parents that way. And it didn't work out too well for him, but the religion seemed to work for them. But later on in life, it all kind of comes back to roost on him. And so that's kind of the starting point for the story is, looking back and trying to make sense of the way you grow up, the religions you grow up with, and whether you accept them or reject them, and how life changes as you move on. So I think that's a starting point for thinking about how the story works. Well, it wasn't. It was less being inspired to tackle this story. There's more. I started writing a story, and that story didn't seem to be able to be contained in a few pages. It couldn't be contained in multiple pages. It couldn't be contained in a few scenes. I had two different stories I was working on, and I didn't realize they were the same characters, and they came together. And really what I found about 10 years ago was I had this story of this boy who was very alone. He's about 11 years old, and things just needed to get better for him. And I didn't know who he was or what his situation was or who his parents were, so I wrote the story so I could understand them. And that may sound a little weird, but that's kind of the way, the imagination's funny that way. And so, yeah, I spent a lot of time writing this story so I could know it, and then I spent a lot of time rewriting it so a reader could know it. And I think the thing that really drove me along was once I got to that moment where, this is a kid who tries to fix his house with religion. I found that made him really intriguing. A lot of people grow up in different religions. This is a kid who takes on a religion, and then what are the ramifications of that? So that's what really got me going. When I was writing this, when I first started writing this, I was writing part-time. I had a full-time career, and I was writing nonfiction and essays in my spare time, and I just really wanted to be a fiction writer. I had these ideas I wanted to write, and so back then I was just squeezing in writing whenever I could. Whenever I had the opportunity to find, if I could steal 15 minutes anywhere, I would take it. If I could steal an hour somewhere to write, I would. And I didn't really know what I was doing. And the one thing I didn't know then is every writer, when they're in the creative throes, really doesn't know what they're doing, except they have to keep going. And over that time, I started taking courses in creative writing, which at first I thought was completely bogus. Now I teach them. I was wrong. I was very wrong. They were. I found that taking courses, creative writing courses, sort of helped me have a structure. Knowing someone's going to be reading my work pushed me to do that much better work, and that was really helpful. So I really enjoyed that. Both here at U of T and then later when I was in graduate school at the New School in New York.